You're watching SportsBeat.
Season 45 of Jazz basketball produced some unforgettable moments. We'll recap the best of the best tonight. Welcome to SportsBeat, everyone. I'm Jeremiah Jensen. This is Spencer Linton. A jam-packed show, including what's next for the Jazz. Drama between Zlatan and Real Salt Lake, and a full recap of locals in the NFL draft.
Yes, JJ, the 45th season in franchise history gave Jazz fans plenty to praise, applaud, and at times go to war over social media. But it also produced a frustrating first-round playoff exit courtesy of the Houston Rockets. And what of those Rockets, JJ, who earned a second-round date with the Golden State Warriors, Game 1 today?
Yeah, who do you want to lose more, Jazz fans, Rockets or Warriors?
Great question.
A lot of talk during and after this game centered on the officiating. Chris Paul hits a step-back three, but he thought he was fouled on the play. Didn't get the call, and he and Mike D'Antoni both get hit with technical fouls. 2 minutes left in the game. Kevin Durant. It's a fadeaway over Harden to give the Warriors a 4-point lead. KD had 35 to lead the Dubs. James Harden also had 35. He drives and scores and is fouled. A 3-point play cuts the Warriors' lead to 1. Steph Curry didn't have a big game, but he hit the biggest shot of the game.
Oh.
With 30 seconds left to play, the Warriors back up 5. Down 3, the Rockets have a shot to tie. Harden versus Draymond. The step back. He misses. He thought he was fouled.
Uh-oh.
Chris Paul gets the rebound. He thought he was fouled. Eventually, the Rockets turn the ball over. Chris Paul not happy. He gets kicked out of the game. Wow, Game 1 was something else. Warriors take Game 1. This series is going to be a war.
I just want a fair chance, man. Call the game how it's supposed to be called, and that's it. And I'll live with the results. But when you, especially we all know what happened, a few years back with Kawhi, like that can change the entire series. Just call the game how it's supposed to be called, and we'll live with the results. And it's plain and simple.
I've been fouled by James on a James three-pointer before. I ain't trying to hear that. Nah, I ain't going with that one. I'm straight. Nah, yeah. When you land 3 feet ahead of where you shoot the ball from, that ain't really my issue. So, it is what it is.
James Harden wanting the fouls to be called fairly. That's rich.
More basketball. Eastern Conference semifinals, Boston and Milwaukee, Game 1. I present Celtics playoff edition. Much different than regular season Boston. Kyrie Irving with 26 points. And how about the Boston defense? Giannis Antetokounmpo, typically a nightmare to defend, but Boston's Al Horford staying woke. I mean, how often do you see Giannis get his shot blocked? Horford had 20 points along with 3 blocks. And then Gordon Hayward. Remember him in the third quarter? Boston outscoring Milwaukee by 15 in that period. Now, to be fair to Giannis, he had 22, including those, but the balanced effort gets it done. Jaylen Brown puts the Greek Freak on a poster. The Celtics steal home court advantage in this best of 7 with a 22-point Game 1 win.
It's Gordon Hayward. Never heard of him.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
All right. The Utah Jazz season ended much sooner than anyone hoped. The Jazz cleaned out their lockers Thursday after the Game 5 loss in Houston, and the offseason is officially underway.
Yeah, it took about 3 seconds after Game 5 ended for extra hot takes and offseason conjecture to fly. What will the Jazz do? What should they do to join the top tier of the Western Conference? Calling Dennis Lindsey.
So many questions need to be answered. The Jazz are fun to watch. They have great chemistry. The roster's full of players that are just as great off the court as they are on it. The team improved, winning 50 games. But it was clear after a disappointing series against the Rockets that the Jazz roster is in need of an upgrade if they want to be a contender.
Fact.
The Jazz will have the cap space and flexibility necessary to make a run at a big name in free agency.
We want to move the group forward, and while we have a very good team, the results told us that we don't have a great team.
I hope majority of it is coming back. I think every year, you guys all know there's going to be changes. There's always changes.
Change doesn't automatically mean better. If there's a better alternative, we'll certainly look at it.
But I still believe what we've got with maybe adding a piece or two is a really special group that can do some special things.
I think we all need to have championship on our minds, but not when the playoffs start. It starts right now. From us as players, from the coaching staff, from the front office, we all have to be on the same page and have to have the same goal.
We'll certainly make every attempt to examine every piece of the organization, player personnel included, and try to move this group forward.
Speaking of change, the Jazz will have some tough questions or decisions to make. Do they pick up the $16.9 million team option for Derek Favors next season or renounce his rights to create more cap space? Ricky Rubio's an unrestricted free agent. Do they make a run at free agent point guards like Kemba Walker, D'Angelo Russell, and Eric Bledsoe? Maybe go after a stretch four like Tobias Harris. Or do you bring Ricky back and seek upgrades elsewhere on the roster?
Yeah, to me, that's an easy one, absolutely.
I prefer to come back here. I have a team option. I need the option picked up. So, the grass not always green on the other side.
No playoffs this year without Derek. No playoff advancement the 2 previous years.
His impact and willingness to, not play as many minutes but still be impactful.
I'm happy in the situation that I'm in the position that I'm in. I think it's good for me and the organization. So, we'll see what happens.
Again, the pick and roll. Oh! Derek Favors! Rubio 3. Yeah!
There's a lot of scenarios that I could see Ricky back. We really appreciate who he is. We think we can get him better. We know who he is, and we know he has Jazz DNA.
One thing I'm going to look for sure is going to be the best situation for me with the coach and the team. No matter what you have, if you're not happy, you can play basketball, but it's not what I want. I want to be happy, you know what I mean? So I'm going to try to find the best situation for me to perform and to be happy.
Hey, stay tuned. I will guarantee you this much. No matter what goes down in free agency and the upcoming NBA draft, the Jazz will rely on the continued and expected improvement of their star, Donovan Mitchell. He overcame a slow start to his sophomore campaign and played at an all-NBA level after the new year. So what's his plan for development?
Better shape. I'll just leave it at that.
Simple enough.
That was blunt. It helps when you have a future Hall of Famer in your corner. The now retired Dwayne Wade tweeted this out Wednesday night after the Jazz season ended. It looks like Donovan will get some big-time coaching this summer from one of the all-time greats. How cool is that? Get to get back in the lab with Dwayne Wade.
D-Wade joining Kyle Korver as 2 of Donovan's biggest fans. But what will Utah do with the 38-year-old sharpshooter? His incredible three-point shooting, a welcome addition after the Jazz picked him up on a trade. But he has a non-guaranteed contract next season at $7.5 million. No guarantee he'll be back in Utah for his 17th NBA season.
There's been a lot in the last few years. 3 little kids. Try to have a good marriage, try to balance it all. It takes a lot. There's a real cost as you get older. There's like there's all the what you need to put into the game, but there's also a family cost. And that's probably where I'm at, is weighing that cost. So this will be a decision that I sit down and make with my wife and my family. And there's a big part of me that wants to have this is a longer off season than I've had in quite a few years. And say, hey, this is an opportunity to really work. And there's part of me that's tired right now. If there's the juice left, I'd still love to do it. We'll find out.
More from the Jazz later in the show. Now to soccer. After a rough start to the season that included a 4-game losing streak, Real Salt Lake seemed to be back on track.
Yeah, back-to-back wins against Orlando and Cincinnati by a combined score of 5-1. All is well for RSL, or is it?
Game on Sunday, trying to make it 3 in a row, taking on Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the LA Galaxy. Not the start they wanted. A Zlatan dummy kick sets up Uriel Antuna. Gives the Galaxy a goal lead in the 16th minute. Much better effort for Arsenal in the second half. A great chance for Damir Kreilach. Hits the crossbar. Heartbreak, but 60th minute, Zlatan up to his antics, trying to intimidate Natum. Natum isn't having it, and he takes a stand. Zlatan was issued a yellow card for his behavior. 64th minute. RSL gets the equalizer. Aaron Herrera's shot is stopped, but the rebound is put back by Danny Toya. He's there for the finish. That score would hold until the 78th minute. Zlatan gets positioned in the box and buries a great pass. That would turn out to be the game winner, and to add insult to injury, Zlatan taunts Natum after the goal. What is up with this guy? RSL fails to come away with points, and after the game, Mike Petke reacts to the antics of Zlatan.
Listen, everyone's in awe of Zlatan, because he's an aura and he's a staple. When you talk about soccer forwards, charismatic, talented, unbelievable players. Zlatan's top of the list. So why should it be any different for if the league in general is completely in awe with him? Do I expect the referees to be any different? No. So again, I have nothing more to say about that. Anything more possibly will get me in trouble, and I vowed that I will not do that this year.
All right, so then talking about the play.
As difficult as it is.
Well, thank you for holding it in.
So Mike Pecky won't get fined, but Zlatan might after this. This is wild. After the match, Zlatan goes into the RSL locker room, apparently to apologize to Natum for his antics during the game. But as you can see, Natum isn't having it.
All right, our final
He
score,
sends
2-1.
Zlatan out. I think Zlatan just did it for the memes, personally. The two have more words, and Zlatan leaves. Natum explains what happened.
Well, he came in to apologise after the game because, you know, from 60 minutes in, he's saying to me, he's going to do me, he's going to hurt me for that game. And this is, you know, this is a guy who's the face of the MLS, as he calls himself, but this is the way that he plays on the field. So I don't care if someone comes in and tries to say that to me. You don't say that on the field. I don't care. I'm not going to accept his apology. It's unacceptable.
So you just told him no thank you.
Yeah, told him to get out.
Well then, tell me how you really feel.
That was fun. Throw that in the budding rivalry vault between these two teams.
The only true reality television is sports, my friends. And you want some real moments? How about the guys getting the call from the National Football League?
Yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks select Marquise Blair, DB, Utah.
9 players with Utah ties hear their name called to the NFL draft. Watch some of them receive the call that will change their lives forever.
And a year-end Jazz Rewind, all of the must-see moments from another 50-win season.
You're watching SportsBeat. The Murdoch Automotive No Regrets Play of the Game.
Liner in the right. Gamble diving, and he makes the catch, and this will be a double play. How about that?
Give it up for Ben Gamble. The diving catch, fabulous in and of itself, but he gets double the love for a double play as he goes to first base, and that is your play of the day.
All right, back to the Jazz. The season didn't end the way anyone wanted, but the Utah Jazz did give fans plenty of memorable moments during the journey.
8 months of hoops, another 50-win season, and all of you now have a VIP pass to relive those top moments from the latest season of Jazz basketball.
I celebrate every time you shoot. I walk away every time you shoot because I think it's cool.
Here's Donovan on a triple drive inside. Oh! Just gets it over the top and in. Back and go! O'Neal, lob, Donovan! And it's been ridiculous watching Ingles tonight.
That's how he plays, though. He's an emotional type of guy.
Here. They got no one down low that can compare or compete with Gobert.
Rudy in stride. And watch this finish.
It's a pretty big record. It's history, so yeah, it's a great thing.
A little in and out. Ooh, in and out fake.
Look at Joe.
He looks him off and then has a little bark for him.
A little taunting.
Mitchell posterizes the big.
The rim will feel that one tomorrow.
Royce. Oh! High flying hammer. Here comes Korver. Bang!
What a weapon he is going to be for the Jazz.
Let's be the supporting fans that our players know and deserve. Thank you, and go Jazz.
That's going to be replayed in Salt Lake about 1,000 times.
Rudy with a hammer. Missed the jam.
Oh, Donovan. Pass ahead. And then there's your man.
Favors mid-ang to the front court. Cross-court pass to Donovan. Catch and shoot three. Swish!
I have never been around a young player like Donovan Mitchell. I'm super proud of him.
He's hungry, humble.
Now in scramble mode. Korver gets it up. It goes and one. Yeah! First lead of the night. Ace. Floater, no. Rudy!
Is all over the board, and here comes the hammer. Boom.
Big man matchup, Rudy Gobert.
You know, I love every single guy in this locker room.
I love my teammates to death.
It's not every year that I can say that.
Oh, the headband. He pointed to it, Bullard.
It's all about the headband.
It's coming. It's a thing.
A bat in the arena. All of a sudden, Jazz Bear came to the rescue.
Gobert flushes.
Top for illustrate. Here he is for three. Got it. On autism night, Quinn Snyder drew up a play for Joe Ingles to get a three.
I know how close our group is, and it's genuine. Like, we actually really like each other.
I gave it all I had.
I know I do a lot, but really you guys make it so easy for not just myself, but for everybody on the team to be so loyal and so dedicated to this city.
So a lot of great moments this season, and we each have our own.
Yeah.
Mine was the win over the Milwaukee Bucks. It's because it really encapsulated everything that Jazz were about this year, overcoming adversity. They're down 17 points, and Donovan Mitchell leads them back on this furious comeback. Rudy Gobert had a rough night that night. Things weren't going well, and all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, they come alive. They come back from 17 down to win. Donovan Mitchell had 46 points at that time, a career high. It was awesome. Derek Favors was incredible. I mean, Giannis had 43 points in this game, and Donovan Mitchell was better, which is insane. So that was my favorite moment of the year.
Love the pick. My top moment takes us back to March 27th. Autism Awareness Night at Vivint Smart Home Arena, and a special focus on Joe Ingles, his wife Renee, and their son Jacob, who was diagnosed with autism back in January. Vivint donated $5,000 for every Joe Ingles assist in support of autism awareness. All he did was respond with a career-best 13 assists.
I think he was highly motivated that night.
Ingles finished 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. Incredible night for their family and the entire Jazz organization. Some things are obviously bigger than basketball. I felt it that night. We'll never forget that.
And that's one of the things that stands out about this team is the great guys on this team. Utah could be really proud of these guys that represent this community. All right, now let's move on to another guy who spent a lot of time in this community. Damian Lillard. Only 6 times in the history of the NBA playoffs has a player made a game-winning buzzer beater that also clinched a playoff series.
It's Dame time.
Yeah,
Weber State alum Damian Lillard has 2 of those 6. Crazy. His 37-foot series clincher against the Thunder, one of the best shots in NBA history, followed by one of the best waves in history. He described the moment after the win.
A chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long-range 3, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
It was a great feeling, you know. When it left my hands, it felt good. I felt good about it, and the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game, I just kept telling myself, like, for us to get this game, we was gonna have to really, really dig, you know, to come out on top. So the fact that I kept telling myself that, and then we came out on top and the shot went in, I was like, man, it really happened. You know, we really dug and poured it out. So it was a great feeling. So I was standing there looking at the rim, and I was like, this is a comfortable range. My trainer, Phil Beckner, we was working out the other night in OKC, and he was just like, just take a few deep ones, you know, off the dribble. Let's shoot a few deep ones. And he was like, I'm telling you, you're going to hit one of these. He just kept saying, you're going to hit one of these. And when I was standing there, I was like, I'm going to shoot it. You know, he was a little bit off of me, and I was like, it's enough space for me to just raise up and shoot it for game. And at the last second, he stepped towards me a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to pound, dribble, sidestep, and raise up, you know. And I just had to let it fly, you know, shoot the ball high in the air to give it a chance, and that's what I did.
I mean, that's a bad shot. Care what anybody says, that's a bad shot. But hey, he made it. That story won't be told, that it was a bad shot. We live with that.
You know, it's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of talk and all this stuff, and that was the last word. That was having the last word. The series was over. You know, that was it. And I was just waving goodbye to him. And I think after game 3, you know, Dennis Schroeder was out there pointing to his wrist. They was out there doing all these celebrations and doing all this stuff, and we kept our composure. And after one win, that was what they decided to do. And we was just like, okay, what we want to do is win 4 games. And then when we win those 4 games, it's not going to be nothing to talk about. So that's what that was.
Now, for most people, yeah, that's a bad shot. But for Damian Lillard, 8 for 12 from 30-plus feet in the playoffs.
Isn't that insane?
Not a bad shot.
There is no bad shot in the gym when Damian Lillard has the basketball. You got to guard that guy. Paul George, you got to guard that guy.
Not a bad shot, Paul. Maybe a sore loser, but not a bad shot. I don't know.
All right. Now that Damian has not just once but twice closed out a playoff series with a buzzer beater, we had a great idea for this week's archive.
Yes, we have gathered all 6 of those series clinching buzzer beaters in NBA playoff history and begin in chronological order. So show me 1986.
McRae will inbound. 1 second on the clock. Sampson. It goes. It's over. A miraculous shot by Ralph Sampson.
Ralph Sampson and his short shorts beat the LA Lakers in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. An uncanny shot. Houston had 0 problems that night.
It's a massive upset.
Wow.
Gets the ball from Hugh Evans. He looks. He gives to Jordan. Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won.
Oh, cover your eyes, Cleveland fans. Michael Jordan has so many big shots, so many legendary moments. This is among the best. Down 1 point, he fires over Craig Elo, a dagger to defeat the Cavs in 1989, winning Game 5 of a best-of-5 first-round playoff series.
DJ just holds, bothered by Price, dump to Michael. 6, 5, 4. Michael strip, got it back. 3, 2. Michael falls, fires. Yeah! At the buzzer. This crowd is stunned. Michael right over Wilkins and in his
Air Jordan deja vu in 1993 Eastern Conference semifinals. Jordan with a dagger against the Cavs to complete the sweep. Yikes.
Stockton, open 3. Good! John Stockton sends the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals.
Yes, one of the 6 happens to be the greatest play in Utah Jazz history. John Stockton finally sending the Jazz to the NBA Finals in 1997.
9/10 left. A 3 wins the series. It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good! And the Blazers.
This one just feels right, doesn't it? Damian Lillard over Chandler Parsons and the Houston Rockets of all teams. Buckets. That dude is something else.
The Thunder home. Lillard, long-range 3, and it's good! At the buzzer!
And then Tuesday night, with confidence, sticks a 37-footer in the face of one of the NBA's best defenders, Paul George, sending the Thunder back to Oklahoma City with an L.
Was that a bad shot?
There is no bad shot when Damian Lillard has the basketball. Have we established that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. All right, now to baseball. The Salt Lake Bees closing out a 5-game series with the Albuquerque Isotopes.
Now, the Bees lost 3 of the first 4 in this series, trying to send the Isotopes back to the ABQ with an L.
But they ended on a positive note. A Sunday matinee, the Bees turned this game into a home run hitting contest. They hit 4 of them. Jarrett Parker started things off with a 2-run shot in the 4th that tied the game at 3. Then Cesar Puello crushes a 3-run shot to center field in the 5th. And please, sir, may I have another. Matt Thaiss, another 3-run bomb, giving the Bees a 9-7 lead. 7th inning, Jose Rojas adds 1 more. Bees win 14-8 over Homer Simpson's favorite team. Homestand continues Monday. Tacoma Rainiers in town for 4 games.
Matt Adams to right field. See if it's fair. You later.
After trailing 6-0, Matt Adams delivers an 11th inning walk-off, and the Nationals snap a 3-game losing streak with a win over the Padres in 11 innings.
Incredible. 9 local players get the call. We'll show you some of the emotional calls and also tell you where those players who didn't get drafted will be going in the NFL.
Pull away, pressure from the right, a sack for Sione Takitaki.
Gaskin. Oh, he's made it to 10 and dropped. Marquise Blair dropped the hammer.
There goes Dax Raymond. Touchdown, Utah State.
All right, the 2019 NFL Draft is complete. There were 9 players who played high school or college football in the state of Utah taken in this year's draft.
Yeah, the Utah Utes led the way with a total of 5 players drafted.
Marquise Blair, the first off the board. The Seahawks need a replacement for Earl Thomas, and Utah safety Marquise Blair will get a shot. Seattle took him in the second round, 47th overall. The Seahawks like how physical he plays the game, and that is certainly what he's known for.
Hey, buddy, congratulations. Seahawks grabbing you right here.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Your staff is fired up, and they're fired up because we know how tough you are. We're expecting you to show it in everything you do in every aspect of our play.
Remember the name, Sione Takitaki joining the Dog Pound. Taken in the 3rd round, 80th pick overall, the Cleveland Browns. After a fantastic senior season at BYU, he hopes to help one of the worst rush defenses in the league. He also tells a great story of where he was when he got the draft call from the Browns.
So, once I got the call, I was really excited. I was actually going to use the restroom. Funny stories. I was watching it on TV, and then, I saw the Rams going, and their pick was in, and I saw Cleveland was next. I was like, I never really talked to Cleveland in the past, except at the combine or anything like that, So I went to use the restroom, and as I sat on the toilet, I get a call, and then I jump right up. I didn't even have to use the restroom no more, and I just answered my phone, so it was pretty funny.
Cody Barton is a Seahawk. The Ute linebacker who graduated from Brighton High School saw his stock rise after a great combine. Here's the call from Pete Carroll.
This is a really good deal. We're fired up to get you. Everybody's jacked about you being here. We're expecting you to come in here and compete your ass off. You're going to play with some great players, and you're going to make yourself a name for yourself by working hard and doing what you do.
Utah punter Mitch Wisnowski, the first specialist taken in the draft, 4th round to the San Francisco 49ers. The phone call from the Niners was understandably an emotional moment for Mitch.
Mitch, this is John Lynch from the 49ers, man.
How's it going?
We're going to make you a Niner, all right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, 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 oi!
Congratulations to you. We're fired up to get you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Enjoy this time with your family, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Take care, buddy.
Coach.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah. No, you should be emotional. Yeah, you should be emotional. Fired up to get you, man.
Was picked in the 5th round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gay and Wisnowski are the first punter and kicker combo drafted from the same school in the same year since 1985.
Wow.
How about that? Here's Matt Gay on his opportunity to play in the NFL.
When I got the call, I looked at the board. It was a Tampa number, and I looked at the board and saw that they were 2 picks away, and it was kind of like, no way, not right now. And just kind of shocked and overcome with emotion, and just it was amazing, honestly.
Rich Eisen calls him the Mormon Janikowski.
Fair. That's totally fair. Utah State running back Darwin Thompson was the final pick of the 6th round, taken by the Kansas City Chiefs. He rushed for 1,044 yards, 14 touchdowns during a memorable season for the Aggies.
You look at his size, he's 5'8", 198 pounds, but this kid's really put together, and I think when you see him in the building, he's a real rocked up dude. So I thought he had really good strength, really good contact balance. He runs with a low center of gravity, and that's one of the things that the guys at Utah State mentioned. He was pound for pound probably the strongest kid in that program, just in terms of his lower body strength.
We're not done. John Ursua graduated from Cedar High School, also played high school football at Westlake in Saratoga Springs. He was selected by the Seattle Seahawks in the 7th round. The Hawaii receiver caught 89 passes for 1,343 yards and 16 touchdowns. He'll play the slot for the Seahawks.
Utah tackle Jackson Barton taken in the 7th round by the Indianapolis Colts. The Brighton High grad, the 5th Ute offensive lineman in the last 3 years to get the call. He and his brother Cody taken in the same draft. How cool is that? What a weekend for the Barton family.
That's awesome. And finally, Judge Memorial grad Caden Ellis was taken in the 7th round by the New Orleans Saints. He played college football at Idaho and is the son of Utah football legend Luther Ellis.
That is how you cover locals in the NFL
go.
draft. Now, there are now several local players who have signed or will sign undrafted free agent contracts. So, of the more notable names, Chase Hansen signing with the New Orleans Saints, as is BYU defensive end Corbin Kaufusi, both headed to the Big Easy. Utah State tight end Dax Raymond signs with the Chicago Bears. For a complete list of local signees, go to KSLSports.com.
Hey, a shirtless Pete Carroll.
Oh, boy.
Coming up, and we promise not to cry over spilled beer. The clips of the week. The great clips of the week are next.
Great clips of the week.
All right, we begin with an improbable comeback. Game 7, the San Jose Sharks trail the Vegas Golden Knights 3-0 in the third period when a major penalty changes everything. The Sharks go nuts on the power play. They score 4 goals in 2.5 minutes to take the lead. The Knights would tie the game with a goal, so we go to overtime.
Bonkers.
Where the Sharks finally prevail on home ice and move on to the next round. If you watch that live, you know why Stanley Cup hockey's the best.
Incredible. My buddy Pierre, a huge Sharks fan, says, I'm going back to church forever because
Pierre.
of that.
His name's Pierre.
Yes.
Of course he loves hockey.
2 great plays, the Bees and Isotopes. This is Elliot Soto of the Isotopes with the over-the-shoulder grab. How about some love for the glove?
All right, then with the game on the line, Soto does it again. This time he dives and flips, starts the 6-4-3 double play. Can we see that one more time before we move on? In slow motion.
Yep.
Wow.
That dude's getting the call-up soon. Now, our next
My
video.
Rockies could use him.
Yeah. Our next call happened at the NFL Combine, but the video just released during the draft. DK Metcalf showed up to a meeting with the Seattle Seahawks shirtless. He inspired 67-year-old Pete Carroll to do the
Wait a
same.
minute. Look at Pete Carroll.
He's 67. He's in great shape.
Me?
I wouldn't do that.
He's almost as ripped as DK, and that's saying something.
67? He's in great shape.
All right, I wish I was Pete Carroll. All right, the state of Utah is fortunate to have Kristen Press, the Royals star, with the perfect touch and a goal. It was the only goal in the Royals' 1-0 win over the Orlando Pride with 6 points. The Royals are on top in the NWSL standings.
Well done, nothing but net. And this bud's for you, Ryan Braun. Whether you like it or not, Braun can't make the catch against the wall, and to make matters worse, gets a beer shower for his trouble. Oh, brutal.
I have 4 kids, so I've had a lot of puke spilled on me, but I've never had beer spilled on me, so I don't know just exactly how terrible
I want
that
to feel
is.
bad for him, but then I look at his paycheck stub, and I'm like, nope, you can handle it.
You know what? Yeah, I think he can get some dry cleaning
You're good,
done.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry too much.
Get him another
about that.
hat, whatever. All good.
Right. That's great stuff. We're all done.
Fun show. Thanks, man.
All right. We'll do it again soon.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.